Okay, cool. So next we're gonna go. This is a character that I think is pretty popular online lately. Just ignore the gameplay, guys. Just don't worry about it. Um, this is Peter's wife. This is Lois. I don't know if you know about Lois.
Also a 1.
Okay, so and that's for what reason?
She is like a middle-aged housewife.
And that doesn't really.
And
Like,
and she also comes from like a rich family.
oh, that's true.
And I just have nothing really in common with Lois.
Okay, so you don't think you're like Lois that much at all?
No, I don't think I'm like Lois at all.
Okay. I'm gonna do a different level, by the way. Okay, cool. This is where it gets interesting. There are 3 characters left in the family.
Yeah.
And I think that there are some of the more interesting ones, because I think they're all pretty relatable.
Yeah.
So let's start with Stewie. So Stewie's the baby. If you guys don't know, he's the baby. But he's kind of like, if you're used to what baby characters are like, Stewie's actually pretty different.
He's a deconstruction.
He's
of
like
the
kind of like you might be surprised. I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you're used to baby characters, Stewie will probably surprise you. So how do you feel? What about Stewie? How do you relate to Stewie?
Stewie's like a 3. Yeah.
What about you? Okay, so that means like an average, like as much as you relate to this sort of the average guy. Do you feel like Stewie is sort of an everyman, maybe?
Yeah, Stewie's a bit of an everyman. Stewie, like, I feel like the way he talks, he reacts to things. Stewie oftentimes plays the straight man role.
And he does react to stuff pretty often.
He does react to stuff, yeah. He actually has been, that's actually one of the core characteristics of Stewie.
Like, he's actually a lot of the time does, like, he'll have stuff to say. Like, sometimes Peter will do something and Peter's the main, we'll talk about Peter in a minute.
Yeah,
and Stewie will say, like, he'll be like, what the heck? What the deuce. Yeah, that's his catchphrase.
Yeah, that was his big one. That was his catchphrase.
So okay, 3. Wow. So let's I'm gonna mix it up. Let's do Peter next. Peter is the father. Peter. He's the patriarch of the Family Guy house.
Yeah. Peter. I'm gonna go with a 3 also for Peter.
Okay.
Like, I feel like Peter's just trying to do his best,
Yeah, he really is. Like,
he's a rough job sometimes. He's like really relatable as a family man.
Yeah, he's the family guy. He's meant to be the relatable guy. So, but only a 3. That's pretty low. And what do you disagree with? What do you think is?
I disagree with the fact that I don't have kids.
Oh, okay. So maybe maybe if you had kids, you'd be like,
maybe.
Oh man, I get that, Peter.
I could see myself being a dad like Peter Griffin, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
I think that's a good goal to want to be.
I think that's probably good. Okay, one more. This is, you might not think, I think a lot of people might relate to this last one. I don't know how you're gonna feel, Al. That's why I saved it for last. So this is the dog of the house. This is.
How can anyone relate to a dog?
Well, because he's sort of like, you know the way Stewie is not like in like the other baby characters?
Yeah.
Like,
deconstruction of babies.
Brian the dog is sort of like, he's kind of just a guy, so, like, it's kind of like one of the little jokes in the show.
He doesn't date, like, human women.
He dates human women, he's an atheist.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's pretty different than what you might expect from a dog.
That is different from how
you know all about him. Can you tell me what how much you relate to Brian?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna say a 4.
A 4, okay.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say a 4. I relate to him because I'm also like an obnoxious liberal, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
And I relate to him in that I also date women.
Okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
You're both heterosexual.
We're both heterosexual. Yeah.
Now he is a dog, so I imagine that might be where that last point is coming off.
Yeah, the last point comes off the fact that I've never really chased a tennis ball.
Yeah, or you like ran around like after your tail or anything.
Yeah, I've never ran around after my tail. I've never really sniffed anyone's butt.
Yeah, he does do stuff like that, so he's there's some nuance.
Yeah, so, like, there's some nuance to him for sure, for real. Yeah, like, I think he's a really interesting character. When you get down to, like, who Brian Griffin is as a person, you peel back the layers and you see that, like
he's a pretty...
He may appear like a dog, but, like, you take it apart and you see a mirror reflected back at yourself.
And he's kind of a deep guy. He's kind of
He is a deep,
introspective.
yeah. Yeah, if the show was named after him, they'd call it Deep Guy.
Yeah, probably. I think I need to do this. That's great. So, you didn't give any character a 5, I noticed.
No.
Is there a character in maybe because there's so many other characters, guys, that we didn't even talk about. Like Cleveland and Joe and Quagmire and
all
the
those
chicken
characters.
and the other guys. So is there any character in the extended cast that you might give a 5 in relatability to?
Mayor Adam West.
Okay. Why is that, Al?
I'm also a mayor, voiced by Adam West.
Okay.
I just don't like. I'm doing a voice right now.
That's a great voice. That's good. You're a mayor.
I don't know. I'm a mayor of Quahog.
It's a great bit, guys. Good work, gang.
Guys, did you like that?
Was that a worthwhile 10 minutes? But is that funny, or was it not funny at all? I know a lot of our audience is probably really annoyed by that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
So to
Absolutely.
you, I say we could have been talking about Doug Walker.
We could have. Oh my gosh, I was. You ever think about how you ever regret not contributing to the Pop Quiz Hot Shot Kickstarter and missing out on the chance to meet Doug Walker?
No. That sounds like a genuinely a bullet dodged.
Did I ever tell you about how when To Boldly Flee came out, I sent Doug Walker a Facebook message?
No,
Did I never tell you this story?
I don't know this story, Al.
When To Boldly Flee came out and Doug Walker announced he was ending the Nostalgia Critic, I sent him a Facebook message thanking him for all the funny videos.
That's kind of adorable. That's kind of very sweet.
I was way too old to be doing this.
How old were you?
Well, when did To Boldly Flee come out?
2011, 2012?
To Boldly Flee was 20... I was 18.
Okay.
I mean... way too old to be doing this.
I don't know. I mean, he's, like, way too old to be doing his thing, so...
That's true. That's true.
In a lot of ways, you guys are birds of a feather.
I was either 17 or 18.
I just dropped Sonic right into the fucking drink. That's really cute. Do you have any favorite moments from that trilogy, Al, that you want to share with the group? With the audience? Man. Any favorite, scenes we are talking about? You guys got mad in the comments, I assume, so this is your comeuppance. We're talking about Boldly Flee now and stuff.
You know what's crazy is I've got so much of it I've forgotten already.
It's so... I mean, the thing with To Boldly Flee in particular is it's so boring.
The only bit of To Boldly Flee I remember is Mecha-Kara. And I remember the two jokes I thought were funny. The one where they're like talking about how parts of their ship have been replaced by robots.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Mecha-Kara, Lindsay Ellis, and Todd in the Shadows, I think.
Yeah.
And Todd in the Shadows is like transformed into the Terminator, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of funny. And the very last bit when the Ghost Force Hayden Christensen appears.
That was a good one. That one got a genuine laugh out of me. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
My favorite...
But the other 3.5 hours are torture.
It's genuinely like having teeth pulled, yeah. It's really heinous.
Yeah, it's fucked up, because I was thinking about this. I was like, man, I'm like thinking about all the great movies, like all the like long franchises we've watched in like our little Discord group, and I'm like, man, we're watching James Bond right now, we watch all of Godzilla, all of Lord of the Rings, all the Doug Walker movies.
It is really funny.
Like that technically counts. That was one of them.
And you know what? I was there for Lord of the Rings. That was good. I was not there for either. I've been not watching the Bond films. I did not watch Godzilla.
Yeah.
So I literally was like basically only there for
Doug Walker.
For Doug Walker. Uh-huh.
We also watched the Linkara movie too.
The Linkara movie is way better.
It's still not good.
No. But it's more boring and kind of embarrassing than it is like, oh,
like actively like, oh, this is nasty.
Bad, this is gnarly.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Do you remember my favorite joke from the trilogy, the Channel Awesome trilogy?
Um,
It's
was it about 8-bit Mickey?
no, I do love 8-Bit Mickey, but I find his role in those movies funny. Um, but it's not. I can tell you which movie it's from or which character.
Tell me which movie.
It's from I believe it's from, Kick-Assia.
Who says it?
Okay, you want the character too. It's a
Yeah.
Spoonie. It's a Spoonie bit.
The Spoonie bit?
Uh-huh.
Oh. I think I know what you're. It's on the tip of my tongue. What is it?
It's the bit where he's been Dr. Insano, I think, for a while. That's his character.
Where he gets better or
He's
something.
It's a very classic, it's a very overdone gag, yeah, but it's towards the end of the movie. And he's been, being a nasty man for a little while. He's been insane. And then at one point he just shows up in a scene, and they're like, I thought you were like, Dr. Insano or whatever. And he's like, oh, I got better. That one really gave me a good laugh.
It's a very classic bit, but it's a good one.
It's a goodie. Yeah.
It's a goodie. It's a classic, though. Just I got better.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the only one in any of those movies that made me laugh, though.
Wasn't that joke done in Princess Bride?
It's probably just a stolen joke from Princess Bride. That would make sense because Princess Bride is one of the best movies ever made. So
Yeah. Princess Bride is also a movie that Doug Walker loves to reference constantly.
yeah, because it's great.
It's
It's very referenceable. Tons of people love to reference that movie.
I just mean that he references a lot of 80s and 90s movies. So
Yeah,
Princess Bride, Full Metal Jacket, he references all the time.
yeah.
Ghostbusters is a big one.
Oh God. I don't really. Can I
stuff
say
like that.
something? I don't. We did a bit with Ghostbusters recently when we were talking about the nuanced gamer. I think we were saying that he's mad about Ghostbusters 2016 still.
Yeah.
You guys know if you saw the previous series. I don't really get Ghostbusters. I like the first Ghostbusters movie. I think it's fun, but I don't really understand why it's such a cultural touchstone.
I just think it came out at the right time, and
I guess
there's a lot of people that it's a very easy toy movie too,
Yeah, it's just I guess it's such a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. Granted, I don't think Ghostbusters should have become a franchise, because I think they've all been bad outside of the first movie.
Oh mother! Oh
The first
mother!
movie.
Oh
the first
mother!
movie
Mother!
Oh, it's a one hit. Didn't know that.
Mama.
I think the first movie's great, and I even kind of like the second one.
I just don't it's such especially in I feel in sort of the older millennial and I think especially kind of Gen X crowd, it's so revered.
It is, yeah.
It's just one of those movies that just I don't know. There's
Kind
a
of
lot
dad
of
movie.
What? It's a dad
Kind of
movie.
a dad movie.
There's a lot of those sort of
Not the only dad movie though.
80s movies. I don't know when Ghostbusters came out. Is that a
Ghostbusters was 80s, yeah.
Was it 80s?
I think so. Let me look it up.
Was it early 90s?
Ghostbusters was 1984.
Okay, wow, mid 80s. Okay. I know nothing about when things happened before I was born, guys.